Hello everybody and welcome to the Christmas Eve version of Sunday Q&A, recorded on Christmas Eve. I'm actually doing it now, hence the reason it's going up late. Yeah, obviously we've been working right up to the last minute, delivering bananas in Deptford and Poplar. I thought, oh, I need that on a Friday before Christmas, but as it wasn't too bad. And it was for fair trade, so it's kind of for these people that sort of make meals for the homeless. So, you know, you kind of think, well, at least my last job of the year was a worthy one, which was cool. Anyway, so this year on the exchange, I thought, well, we've all been running for the year. I want to get your opinions. I know what I kind of think, but I thought, well, let's get your opinions on what you think the exchange has been like this year. Is it on the increase? Is it levelled out? So anyway, I've straight onto it. Starting off with Volta Lanny. He says, Pete, are you working for the exchange? No, I don't work for the exchange. I never have worked for the exchange. I started doing these videos about it because I ended up going on it. Yeah, so no, I don't work for the exchange. I use it. I don't use it as much as I used to because I'm now working for a firm, Transport IT. And a lot of the jobs that we do are our own jobs, but I still use it for booking backloads. But nevertheless, I have spoken about it an awful lot. So, yeah. So Shane Hardy says, Pete, I'm still debating if joining the exchange is still worth it. In the meantime, I'm focusing on my security work while raising funds while I decide to join. Well, Shane, keep you know, stay tuned, my friend. Any questions? Always good to hear from you. And of course, we'll keep you updated. But yes, so going on, Clive Littlewood, he's got his own firm out there. He said it has been the flattest year, to be honest. No pickup in the third quarter, just a flat line of steady work. Lots of moaning from CX drivers about how slow it's been. Prices up, recession has bitten, and will hopefully slowly crawl back out. You know, when everything else calms down in the world. Like, it's not easy being an owner driver, but do it well and it will keep you busy. Merry Christmas all. So I think what he's saying is it's not really what it used to be, but you can still make a living out of it. Leach, he says, on my second year on the CX, it's definitely been a lot slower than my first. I truly believe it's where you live. It's hard down at the South Coast unless you're prepared to stay out all week to chase the money. The Midlands does seem to be a sweet spot for work. Whenever I'm around the area, the phone constantly pings, whereas Kent, Sussex, South, M3 downwards to Exeter is pot luck to find work, especially return loads. Fingers crossed it will pick up for next year. I've always said that. I mean, I kind of didn't realise when I moved in, I'm very, very lucky where I live, which is kind of Dunstable. We're near London and near a lot of, not like London, we'll come on to that later, and near a lot of kind of warehouses, distribution centres, so there is work. But we've done a video on this, like the places to go, on the, you know, where's the best place to work from. Kind of depends where you live though, doesn't it? Unless you're prepared to tramp, it kind of depends where you live. Chris Stock says, I've been running on the exchange with 10 trucks the last 5 years now. Not what it was, but still make a living. The only bad thing is chasing the money now has got harder for, you know, definitely. I think he's talking about chasing invoices in. People slower at paying, not paying, that kind of thing. Yeah, so there you go. That's Chris Stock's opinion, Chris A. Tock's view on it. Nick the Urban Trucker, my mate who's out there. Merry Christmas, mate. He says, Pete, this year has been very, very flat from a work point of view. For one, I will be pleased to see the back of 2023. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. And to you too, sir. Paul Glibberly says, this guy's just started, so this gives you an idea as well. He says, 2 months on the CX and I'm quite happy with it. You can only do one job at a time. And had a good mix of short, long, for less than £10 a day. It's certainly better than trying to ring around to win customers. Full review from me at 6 months. One question. He says, some airport jobs ask for airport experienced drivers. Apart from the obvious chicken and egg, what issues on their airport jobs that mean this is requested? Mate, I'll do you a video on that. I don't know if I've done one on airports before. If I have, I'll do you a link. If I haven't, I'll do you a video. But yeah, there are certain things like printing your own paperwork and also being prepared to wait and security and having more than one kind of ID. But yeah, I'll try and do your video on that if we get a chance. Maybe do it this week. So that was this year on the exchange. This also was the week where I had the hardest addresses to find. It was absolutely impossible. From a warehouse that was hidden in someone's back garden to one that was hidden in the middle of a field. I think it was the first job in a very long time where I'd actually thought, I've never done it. I thought, I'm going to pull this. I'm just going to go home. I've tried ringing the shipper, I can't get through. I've tried ringing the guy, I can't get through. I've tried going to 4 different places, I can't find it. An hour's gone by, and I'm just sitting here. I'm going to ring the firm and go, I've never done this before. I'm going, and I'll take the fallout. When they finally ring me, I'm going to go, I tried to ring you twice over the last hour, and no one's picked the phone up. What did you expect me to do? Just sit there? So anyway, I did. I got there in the end. We got it off. So, domain name guy says the best maps are a parcel. The best maps are a parcel bod in one main parcel. I think it's talking about main company vans, like, you know. It's a street map on wheels. Sometimes I struggle with you. I love it, but I should maybe read these through before I actually read them out, like, you know. So I used to have to deliver parcels for a company 3 or 4 times a week, and we used to go to the security, go through the barrier goods, that kind of stuff. And I'd see a UPS guy deliver parcels to a company through a window. The UPS guy said, if you get parcels for this depot, just knock on the window and they'll accept the parcels through the window. I think what he's saying there is, if you do it like on a regular basis, it gets a lot easier. I think that's a double-edged sword, because if you're doing the same thing all the time, A, it's easier because you know where to park, where you're going, you don't get lost. But B, it also gets more monotonous. You don't get to see new things. So I think it's sort of what you win, you lose type thing, like, you know. Godzilla says, good on you for making such an effort. Only thing I would say is call the office and ask for what 3 words location. This has saved me lots of times. I have got what 3 words on my phone. I've never used it. A lot of time on the CX, you ring up and say, can you give me the what 3 words thing? And they go, what's that? I do think it's a shame that what 3 words and the CX couldn't combine, because it would make all our lives a lot easier. Even down to the fact that if you want a distribution centre, it will actually take you to the door you need to go to. Say, for example, it's Booker's in Hatfield. You can be round the goods in, and you want goods in frozen, or do you want goods in ambient, or do you want the tobacco door? There are 3 goods in. It could take you actually there. I think it would be very helpful. Hong Kong Philly also says, if only what 3 words was used on all jobs. Done a lot of Argos deliveries for houses with no numbers and no easy access. They always order heavy stuff in the pitch dark, roll on the long summer days. You're not wrong, my friend. It's always easier to do in the summer. And finally, Paul Rogers says, Post Tag Address Finder, a free app. He says it's really, really good. You won't need anything else. I've not tried that one, Paul, but thanks for the heads up, mate. So, cool. Right, we're going to go on to the wise guys now. Ian Taylor, he says, because he asked a question last week, he says, when you do a manual entry with no card, what do you click on? Is it driver 1? And I wasn't sure, so I put it out there. Steve Campbell's come back. He said, manual entry with no card, you click vehicle and then you fill in your driver details. You do 2 printouts at the start and 2 printouts at the end of shift. Driver keeps a copy of each for 28 clear days, and the other copies are given to the transport manager. Steve, thanks very much. I kind of did know most of that, but I kind of forgot it. And that's why it's really handy to have you guys out there that know what you're doing, that can pass the information on. It's a good little world. We got another one from Domain Name Guy. He says, got a question. He says, what is the driver CPC module on safeguarding, e.g. the one where the driver's segments, he said it used to be called vulnerable road users, but has the segment now been updated to safeguarding, or is it still called vulnerable world users? I've been out of driving game for a few years now. I mean, I know when you do your CPC, they can do all kinds of stuff. Driver's hours, which is kind of essential. And then they go on things like, you know, sort of like how to strap a load, that's good. And then it gets into sort of like health and safety, using the truck as a weapon. You do a day on learning how to use, you know, what to stop your truck being used as a weapon. Make sure, lock it and make sure no one gets your keys. Doesn't take a day. But the CPCs are all over the shop, like, you know, so, but yeah, any information on CPCs, I'm sure we can pass on to the man. And regarding the safeguarding, or, you know, what's it called? Vulnerable road users, if anyone knows any better, pass it on and we'll let the domain name guy know. All right, we've got a quick one on trucks. Jim on the run, he says, yeah, because I talked about the lane departure system in the new DAF. And he says, narrow roads with a lane departure system is a constant pain. I now do one thing with a lane departure system. That. Press the button and turn it off. If I remember, it's the first thing I do when I start the lorry up. If I don't remember, I wait, and within 5 minutes when it goes, I just go, click. It's just tedious. Absolutely tedious. It just buzzes at you for no apparent reason whatsoever all the time. I suppose when you introduce this new technology, some things work and some things don't. The lane departure system don't. Miscellaneous. Van Roman, he says, what happened to Van Go Transport? It fell off the conveyor belt, I assume. So he's talking about a video I did here called The Conveyor Belt of Fools. We'll do you a link. I'll take on board your point, but there's got to be some kind of statute of limitations on this. I mean, you can't turn around and say that Woolworths was a failure of a company because it went bust after 110 years of trading. I was trading for 5 years. It just fell to pieces. But like I say, if you want the full story, no spoilers. You want the full story, the book will be coming out. When? I don't know, because I don't seem to get an awful lot of time to write anymore, but I am working on it. And if you, in the meantime, if you can't wait for then, there's other books out there you can read over the Christmas period. Yeah, it's something to do. There we go. So, Man of Feedweed says, oh yeah, we were talking about whether you want a Euro 6. He says he's bang on the money here. I recently went out and basically bought a Berlingo petrol to replace his Euro 5 Transit. I would do anything like the mileage he's talking about. Don't forget Euro 7 on the horizon soon. Yeah, I think what he's saying is that he wanted to get a Euro 6. I still say, he's got domain name guy says, mind the rush hour traffic coming out of London on the M1 starts about 1 PM on a Friday these days. And also Michelle says, from what I've heard, Euro 6 diesels can be quite costly when they break. Haven't looked into it. Anybody know any better about that? A Euro 6 is more, I find the newer vans, every newer van that comes along, every newer car that comes along is more expensive to repair than the last one. It just seems to be. You know, wing mirrors used to cost 20 quid. Now, on some of them, you don't get change at £500, possibly more. Brand new Range Rover, straight the wing mirror, grand. You know, it just gets ludicrous to me. But, yeah, as for London, I've done a couple of jobs lately. Even that one I said, I did one going into King's Cross. They held me up with the paperwork for 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to get out. I did one, again, I did the hardest address to find. The job itself was 7 minutes. When I picked it up and took it to where it was going, it was 7 minutes. And this was from Waltham Abbey. This is suburbs, this isn't even London. But you just don't have the space. If you pick up in Milton Keynes or Northampton or Lincoln or somewhere like that, plenty of places to stop, plenty of places to turn around. It's like just all the time. Narrow roads, domestic, someone behind you. I can't stop here, I've had to go down the road. It's just painful. It just is. Even the suburbs, it's just painful. I mean, I'm doing Enfield. I do a regular run into Enfield. You can guarantee somewhere along that route, I'm going to be sitting in a traffic jam for 15 minutes. Whatever time. There'll be roadworks. It's just painful, but it is what it is. So do you save yourself any money? You get a newer motor so you can go into London so you don't pay the fines, and then wish you hadn't bothered. But there you go. And finally, this week on from Domain Name Guy, who's our guy on self-driving vehicles. He said, I've just seen a YouTube short of a Tesla towing a 40-ton fridge trailer in the States. The car is fully autonomous with self-driving mode. Yeah, so it's kind of, I think, this is, it's like the Australian road train, 3 or 4 trailers, but a Tesla car powers the electrics and steers the trailer. To see the video on YouTube, just type in Tesla car towing truck trailer. Yeah, so I've said all the way along, it's all very well and good driving an automated vehicle, but as we know, addresses are so difficult to find. If it's going from a pre-programmed distribution centre to a pre-programmed distribution centre and there's no accidents along the way, you might have half a chance. But I think it's a long time coming. Probably not next year. Certainly not this year. There's only 1 week left. So yeah, I'd just like to say to everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support all the way through the year. who knows what 2024 will bring. There might be one next week, I'm not sure. I don't know if I get a chance to do your man a video about, what did I do a video about? Airports. You made me discussing airports. I wanted to do a life on the road one. I've done one going up to Inverness, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to edit it. It's all very, I mean, I'll be back to work the day after Boxing Day. We're shifting warehouses, so there's a lot to be done. And I will get round to it, I'm sure. And in the meantime, enjoy your turkey. I hope the family doesn't drive you too mad. Take care, but don't take any money. Thanks again.